Let me ask you something. What if the reason most people never build wealth isn't because they don't earn enough money? It's not because the economy is rigged against them, and it's not because they missed some secret investment opportunity. What if the real reason is because of 10 tiny daily habits they never develop? Habits so small, so simple, that most people skip right past them thinking they don't matter. Here's the wild part. Studies show that financial literacy, the ability to actually understand and manage money, is not about intelligence. It's not about your income. It's almost entirely about behavior, and behavior is just habits running on autopilot. So today, we're going to talk about 10 tiny habits that will make you more financially literate in 2026 than 90% of the people around you. And I promise you, none of these require a finance degree, a six-figure salary, or hours of your time. The last one on this list, it sounds almost too obvious, but it's the one almost nobody actually does. Let's get into it. Here's a story that might sound familiar. Meet Jordan. Jordan is 27 years old, earns a decent salary, has a Netflix subscription, goes out on weekends, and generally feels like life is pretty okay. But every time the end of the month rolls around, Jordan opens the banking app, stares at the number, and thinks, where did it all go? Sound familiar? Jordan is not broke. Jordan is not irresponsible. Jordan is just financially unconscious, and that's the default setting for most of us. We grow up learning algebra, history, literature, but almost nobody teaches us how money actually works, how to think about it, how to talk about it, how to grow it. And so, most people end up copying the financial behavior of the people around them, their parents, their friends, social media, which is often just one big cycle of spending, stressing, and hoping things work out. Financial literacy isn't a subject, it's a muscle. And just like any muscle, you build it through small, consistent reps, not one big workout once a year. So let's build it. Habit 1. Read one financial headline every morning. This one takes less than 2 minutes. Every morning, before you open Instagram or scroll through memes, open one financial news source. Bloomberg, CNBC, even Google Finance. Just read one headline and a short summary. You don't need to understand everything. You're not becoming an analyst. You're just training your brain to stay in the same room as money. Here's the psychology behind it. There's a concept called the mere exposure effect. The more you're exposed to something, the more comfortable and familiar it becomes. Most people are financially anxious because money feels foreign and scary. Daily exposure makes it feel normal. Over time, you'll start recognizing patterns. You'll hear, interest rates went up, and actually understand why that matters for your rent or your loan. That's financial literacy quietly building in the background. Habit 2. Track 1 week of spending with zero judgment. Not a full budget, not a spreadsheet with color codes and pivot tables. Just 1 week. Write down or use a free app like Copilot or Wine app every single thing you spend money on. Coffee, subscriptions, that random Amazon order you forgot about, everything. The goal is not to feel guilty. The goal is awareness. Here's what's fascinating about this. Research in behavioral economics shows that people consistently underestimate their discretionary spending by about 40 to 50%. We just don't see it happening in real time. 1 week of tracking is like turning the lights on in a dark room. You're not changing anything yet. You're just seeing what's actually there. And that awareness alone changes behavior almost automatically. Habit 3. Learn one financial term per week. Just one. Not 10, not 20. One. This week, learn what compound interest means. Next week, learn what an index fund is. The week after that, learn what inflation actually does to your money. Stack 52 of these over a year, and you've built a genuinely impressive financial vocabulary, completely painlessly. Here's why this matters more than it sounds. Financial literacy has a language, and if you don't speak the language, you can't fully participate in the conversation about your own money. Banks, brokers, credit companies, they all speak in financial terms. When you understand the vocabulary, you stop being someone things happen to, and you start being someone who makes informed decisions. Think of it like learning to read a map. You could still travel without it, but with it, you actually know where you're going.
Habit 4. Automate one financial decision. The enemy of good financial behavior is not laziness, it's decision fatigue. Every day you make hundreds of tiny decisions. By the time you get home from work and think about whether to transfer money to savings or invest something, your brain is tired, and tired brains choose the easiest option, which is usually doing nothing. The solution is elegant. Remove the decision entirely. Set up an automatic transfer to your savings account the same day your paycheck arrives. Set up automatic contributions to your investment account, even if it's just $20 a month to start. When saving becomes automatic, it stops competing with all your other decisions. You don't have to be motivated. You don't have to remember. The system does the work. This is exactly how the most financially disciplined people actually work. Not through superior willpower, but through superior systems. They've automated the good behavior so they don't have to fight themselves every month. Habit 6. Have a monthly money date with yourself. Once a month, 30 minutes, no distraction. Sit down and look at your numbers. What came in, what went out, what's in savings, what's in investments, what changed since last month. That's it. This habit alone separates financially literate people from everyone else because most people have a vague, anxious sense of their finances. They know roughly how much they make, they hope they have enough, and they avoid looking too closely because it feels uncomfortable. But you cannot improve what you don't measure. The monthly money date makes your finances concrete, and concrete things are manageable. It's the vague, murky, unexamined stuff that turns into a real crisis at 2 a.m.